Ethical dilemmas are considerable. For example, one of the big issues involved is, since the most likely technologies that we could use to alter climate change are also dangerous, the question comes up of whether some of us that use a tremendous amount of carbon have the right, instead of curtailing our use of carbon, have the right to then try and alter the climate and cause all sorts of problems, not only potentially for ourselves, but for other people who aren't using a lot of carbon. So that's one basic ethical dilemma. One thing that I think actually isn't an ethical dilemma, but is often pointed to by people who oppose geoengineering, is they say that even raising the issue possibly could cause us to continue to consume carbon, because it'll just be, we don't feel any urgency to stop consuming as much carbon as we are, returning the carbon to the atmosphere, because we can come up with a technological fix. I don't actually think that this is an issue any longer. We're already past the point of no return in terms of the amount of carbon we put into the environment. Now, don't get me wrong, we should try and restrict the amount we're putting in. The more we put in, the worse it's going to be. But we're already stuck with a situation that's going to be pretty bad. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change says that the Earth's temperature is going to go up anywhere between 1 and 6 degrees. We already have more carbon in the environment than we've had in 16 million years. So we're in for some pretty significant effects. And that's part of really why my co-editor, Will Burns, and I decided to go ahead with this project, is we felt like there is a lot of discussion within very small circles about geoengineering, but we felt that really there needs to be a lot more discussion, and the public in general needs to be brought on board, because there's significant governance issues involved. After all, who's going to decide whether we're going to pursue these types of geoengineering projects, given their riskiness? Just as an example, a concrete example, the Maldives Islands, South Pacific Islands, are only about, on average, 1.5 meters above sea level. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change says there's likely to be, or very possibly going to be, close to 1 meter rise in sea level over this century. The Maldives is already, 1/3 of the islands are already being flooded every year. If they and other small Pacific island countries decided that they wanted to embark on aerial spraying, could anyone tell them not to? What about the Indians? Possibly one of the possible side effects of aerial spraying is it could shut down the South Asian monsoon that 1 billion Indians depend on to feed themselves, to irrigate their crops for water. And so there's some serious governance issues involved, and we need to start talking about those.